As a wedding photographer who shoots primarily Leica for wedding days, you would think that for my own wedding, I would have a very strict Leica glass only rule. That is not the case. I handed out disposable cameras like it was 1996, straight up with Beanie Babies, Pogs, and Tamagotchis. Today I'm sharing exactly how that turned out, minus the Beanie Babies, Pogs, and Tamagotchis. That would have been a really good idea. Hi, I'm Teri. As I mentioned, I photograph weddings. I shoot a lot of analog film myself for personal work and for my couples. When it came to my own wedding day and how I wanted it documented, a lot of thought went into how I do a mix of analog and digital that would make me very happy. This video is sponsored by my friends at the Darkroom. Because I trust them for all of my clients' film, of course I trusted them for film for my own wedding day. Why disposable cameras? Well, a couple reasons. They're readily available, quite easy to use for all ages, pretty unfussy, and because you get that unique analog look. I actually hadn't had a lot of recent experience with disposable cameras. Disposable cameras are the easiest, simplest form of a film camera and can produce some arguably pretty usable results for any skill level. Of course, I had a professional photographer on the day, Sam Hurd. He's a magician. Sam does the most amazing, unique photography that you will ever see. He also lives in an A-frame house. Bam! But he doesn't really do film photography. Sorry, Sam. Because film coverage was really important to me on my wedding day, I had to think outside the box, or inside the box where a little roll of film lives with a flash button. Our wedding day was also not just one day, it was a couple days spread out in Banff, Canada, where we did fun things before the wedding and then after the wedding day. So this was my solution to be able to capture really fun moments. I wanted to see what it would look like when guests captured it their way. Off-centered shots, flash faces, and light leaks included. Yes, we have the digital images. Yes, we have the disposable camera images. Both sets of images equally valuable now. How did I pull this off? Well, disposable cameras are very easy to find. They're a hot commodity these days. Lots of the indie brands are actually coming out with their own disposable cameras, as well as the big camera brand names, always keeping them in stock and ready to go. I did some black and white 400TX, worthy of a voice crack, not sure. Arguably one of the most popular and classic black and white film stocks. I also did some Kodak Power Flash. Those are the ISO 800 that came on recommendation for being one of the best disposable cameras out there and around. And because I'm still obsessed, I also threw in 3 very random psychedelic blues, number 3. Upon guest arrival, everybody got a cute little goodie gift bag. The disposable cameras were put in those with instructions on how to use them and encouragement to use them throughout the week, giving them back to me at the end of our trip. I just wanted to see how the week looked from their perspective. This was a really fun way to unleash their creativity, help document the moments that I wasn't able to see and experience, and admittedly force them to have a taste of what it was like to be a wedding photographer like me. So cruel. All right, let's talk about some of these results. Obviously, thrilled with how these turned out and looked. I have a really fun mix of sort of the activities that we did throughout the week, random moments, maybe moments I didn't need to see, guests enjoying themselves, little group shots. A lot of mistakes were made, but a lot of wonderful moments and memories were captured. Some of my very favorite images from all of the disposable cameras came from Psych Blues number 3. Again, that unpredictability with this film stock really lent itself to some interesting images, some that are truly impossible to replicate given where these light leaks hit and where they fall. It makes them all that much more special to me. They look darn cool. With pretty much any Kodak film, you're going to get a lot of very nice, very forgiving latitude. And I think that the Kodak FunSaver really proved itself to be a wonderful camera if the user remembered how to use the flash. And of course, the Kodak 400TX. Looking back at these are so incredibly timeless and classic. I will be looking at them for years and years to come and really cherish how they felt. As all of our family members and friends here age and grow, I think these are going to be just wonderful memories to have. There were a couple images I wanted to share that were just complete standouts. This first one on Psych Blues number 3. It's such a raw moment and I love it so much. This was a color image that I took. Oh, I have a great side story. Would you like to hear it? So these big windows sit and overlook the valley. All of these windows, the glass was flown in from Czechoslovakia. All of them are original except one. There were guests that were sitting here, a couple. The wife got very angry at the husband, took the chair and threw it at him, missed and hit the window, smashing the window and banning the couple from the hotel for life. That is a true story. I took the history tour of the Banff Springs Hotel. Anyway, cool picture. The black and white. I actually got some really impressive photos. Love it. There was a winner. There was one picture that ruled them all, and I am very mad that it was not my camera. It was my sister-in-law's husband. He took this incredible photo. Are you freaking kidding me? With a disposable camera. Anyway, these were great. Quick note, these scans you're seeing, they're all from the Darkroom. The Darkroom is a traditional dip and dunk lab. They're located in San Clemente. Family business. They've been developing film for over 40 years. I've been using them about the last year. Everything is a ship-in experience. I've personally used them for all kinds of color, black and white, my crazy psych blues, even slide film, expired film, and now this wonderful set of disposable cameras. They're pretty affordable and I couldn't be happier with using them as my film lab. All right, so disposable cameras, should you use them for your wedding? Well, I think yes is the resounding result of this video. Like I said, I was just looking for a really nice solution to add in more analog documentation, and I fully succeeded in that. There's nothing like getting the guest perspective of what's happening. I totally suggest pairing disposable cameras with professional wedding photography. Me as a professional coming in on the wedding day, I can have all the things covered with using real film cameras, film stocks appropriate to whatever setting, making sure that I'm like really working to get great film images. But something that I don't think I could ever really capture is how your relationships are. Your friends and family know you best. You have lifelong relationships. They're going to be able to get a truly unique perspective on you in this day. So that's why I think that disposable cameras are truly invaluable. As I was making this video, just a few little pro tips. If you are thinking about using disposable cameras for your own wedding day, I would maybe put a little instruction bar reminding them to use the flash when they're indoors. I would also think of maybe a fun way to encourage guests to use the disposable cameras, whether that's putting them in a very obvious location, delegating a few friends, family members, or wedding party people to pass around the disposable cameras. Or if you have a small intimate wedding like I, actually designating a disposable camera for each guest that's at your wedding, complete with name tags and making sure that they give it to you at the end of the week. I think that it could be really interesting to do disposable cameras as just black and white or just color, or in a perfect world, a little of both. There's also a lot of cool companies that you could look up to seek out some more experimental film if you wanted to use this as a way to like really go crazy. I would encourage you to print your photos. As we were waiting for professional images, the disposable cameras and all of these images came first, and it was really important to print out some so that we could put around the house, send off as gifts. It's just really fun to have the tangible copies of these, whether it's disposable cameras or pictures that you have from a phone or professional shoots. Printing your photos is so important. It's nice to have those living keepsakes up where you can see them all the time. Thanks for hanging out and revisiting some wedding memories with me on disposable cameras. If you're interested in more chat about analog, film stocks, some of what I do with wedding photography for my own couples, and just a lot of random camera chats, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next time.